just an encouragement to young women is that there's an equal opportunity for all of us. When somebody was created, you are created with a mind and hand. That means that we all can do whatever you aspire to do. I started from a level of a technician, then I went to a level of a supervisor in production. Right now I'm a production manager. I think I'm a good example.
The best technicians we can have are the female students because of the carefulness of what they do. The activities they take or they carry out are always carefully done, okay? And that is what we are looking for when we are training these students.
We encourage more women to get into the TVET institutions and take the engineering courses because it is no longer a male-dominated field, and we want to give them chance and mentor them so that we ensure their future is guaranteed.
Women in manufacturing is, I think, one of the interesting topics we have been looking at as CAM, and we recently launched a report on the same. One of the issues that did come out, of course, is that women are underrepresented within the manufacturing sector, and this definitely impacts in terms of how the number of women who also get into the pipeline of manufacturing. But we are seeing the trend shifting with more female executives making their way to the top and creating conducive environments to enable women to work within the manufacturing sector.
For people who are there outside, naweza encourage they should not choose any, let's say they should not choose courses because maybe it is for men or it is for ladies. So if a man can do, then a lady can also do.
Throughout the years, we as manufacturers have been constantly decrying on the skills level and the skill sets of most of the students coming out of our technical institutions.
Mimi naweza sema kama ni shule, wako wanatembea kwa industry, wanatembeza ma student kwa industries. Unapata hiyo opportunity ya kupata kuinteract na hizo machine.
In terms of working with the institutions working with the industries, it is very essential that there is a provision in the curriculum so that at frequent intervals the trainees are exposed to the industry. Potentially we'll talk of maybe 3 months for every year of training, so that these trainees are able to actualize what they have learned in class, and they're able now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, right here in the White Room at CAM House, and also you tuned in from all around the world on our Facebook or our YouTube, Kenya Association of Manufacturers. It's an exciting day here today. We are here for the E4D launch, the Employment and Skills Development for Africa. The Employment and Skills for Development in Africa. I'm even getting ahead of myself here. Before we do everything else, you guys remember, was it what, 56 years ago, I believe, Kenya became an independent country? You guys remember that? You guys were around, Bwana Thomas. You were there. We were all there around. So, exactly, and we sang the national anthem then. So, it only serves. We are 10 days away from Jamhuri Day. So, let's start with the national anthem. If you're watching us at home, please rise for the national anthem. Let's go. Yes, guys, please rise, please rise. National anthem, please. So it's playing somewhere, so wow. Okay. Moment of silence. Yes. And we're good. Thank God they didn't ask me to sing the national anthem. That would have been over. I'm deported, might have had to go to Germany. I don't know. They'd have disowned me as a country. But as I told you, we're here for the E4D launch. You guys can have your seats. So sorry, you guys can have your seats. Asante sana. We are here for the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa launch. It's an amazing project that we're going to hear the story about. Well, of course, here at the White Room at Cam House in Nairobi. Amazing place, and we're mainly here because the White House is still occupied. That's true. Yeah, he's refusing to go, basically, but we are here, and we're live all over. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube, Kenya Association of Manufacturers. I'll be your host, Charlie Karomi, by the way. A part of my job is to make sure you go through the amazing program we have today, and also I'm going to crack some horrible jokes. So if by the end of this you're not like, oh Lord, I have not done my job. So just make sure, but at the end of this you're clutching your forehead saying, oh my God. Okay, here's the thing. It's been 3 years in the making, this entire project, promoting youth employment through technical human capital development. GIZ and CAM have done this for 3 years now. I mean, we're not the BBI, but we're building a bridge between employers and the schools and the trainees and the future employees. That's another of my bad jokes. So we're not the BBI, but we're building a bridge that actually works here. And we're going to get into it right now. You're going to hear from guys from CAM, from guys from GIZ. We have a few PSs coming along. So in case you have any questions at home, please comment up or vote down below. And we're going to get started. It's going to be, as I hear the young people say, it's going to be lit. So here, to start the lituation, is someone who should go to Huduma Center and change her first name to Inspiration. This is the lady that we're talking about. It's Madam Phyllis Wakiaga, by the way. She is amazing. All the things she's done, I've just seen a new title, UN Global Network, Compact Network. I hadn't seen that before. We have Top Africa Economic Leader for Tomorrow by Choice, 100 Africa list. We have one of the 2019 most influential people of African descent, Global 100 under 40. Strong track record over 15 years. Sustainable development is her other name, and economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to welcome to the stage Madam Phyllis Inspiration Wakiaga. Welcome. Karibu sana. A round of applause, guys. Come on. Karibu sana.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Charlie wants to get me into trouble. BBI, White House jokes. Really? But thank you so much, everyone who's joining us here today. It's really a pleasure to be here with you, and more so I can remove my mask, as we talk about the youth. I celebrated my birthday yesterday, and I'm still youthful, so yeah, I'm not growing old, yeah? So I intend to be part of this conversation for a long time, so I'll be one of those. But really, thank you so much. We're here to celebrate the German Development Cooperation with Kenya and all the work we have been doing together with the Embassy and GIZ and the entire team here. So I really want to appreciate all of you who have joined us on social media, everyone who's following this conversation, everyone who's here with us in the White Room. Allow me to recognize a few critical people who are part of this conversation. The first one is the Principal Secretary, State Department of Vocational and Technical Training, Dr. Julius Juan. Thank you so much for your support. We also have another very good friend of ours, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Youth Affairs, Dr. Julius Korir. We appreciate your partnership. We have with us also the Deputy Head of Mission and the Charge d'Affaires, the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany to Kenya, Mr. Thomas Wimmer. Thank you so much for joining us. We also have with us Thomas Yeshke. I hope I got it correct. I did. Thank you so much. He's the team leader for the E4D project. You'll be hearing a lot more about that, but a partnership that we've been having over the last few years. We also have the Director General, the Technical and Vocational Educational Training Authority, TVETA, Dr. Kipkirui Langat. We have Jane Maina, who is representing Glory Mutugi, the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions Chair, and all the other people who have joined us, my colleagues and everyone else. As we all know, the youth constitute more than half of our population, so we are more than half of the population, and we need to think of how we can engage and motivate them to take an active role in the development and the future of the manufacturing sector. Because if we are going to talk about a sector in the future, we need the youth involved. If we are able to uplift and empower them and involve them, they can act on the strength and dynamism that they have to generate a very huge transformation for our country, which is required. And as the Association of Manufacturers, I'm really glad that we have been playing a critical part in supporting the youth to take their place in the manufacturing sector. And this has been because of the partnership we have had, and I'll share a little bit about it. Since 2017, as you heard Charlie said, for the last 3 years, we have had a support from GIZ, which has supported our endeavor to create jobs and entrepreneurship opportunities by linking competence-based education and training, that is CBET, and the technical vocational educational training graduates with opportunities in the local industry, and really providing that bridge. Yeah, not the controversial one, but the other bridge. Through the successful implementation of the first phase of the program, we saw about 1,662 TVET graduates placed in internship. We saw 878 permanently employed in industry. I want to thank the German Development Corporation for the continued support that you continue to give us and ensuring that we champion skills as a country and really learn from the great work you do in Germany. Today we are here to launch the second phase of the E4D program. And through this program, we shall continue to support technical skills development among the young people and strengthen links between industry, TVET institutions, and students. We also want to promote the continuous career development of technical trainers so that we ensure that the trainers are able to meet the manufacturers' changing needs, and also work on ensuring that we also increase the participation of women in the manufacturing sector. As Kenya Association of Manufacturers, we also remain committed to ensure that the participation of youth in the manufacturing sector is not just significant, but also very impactful. I welcome you all to this event and wish you all a fruitful day. I recognized P.S. Korir, and he's now in the room. Thank you so much for joining us. Karibu sana.
Round of applause for Miss Phyllis. I'm going to use that name from now on, Inspiration. That's your second name according to me. Thank you so much. And guys, if you're just joining us, we are live from the White Room at Calm House for the launch of the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa, E4D program. Live from the White House here. If you're online, use the hashtags Employment for Devep or hashtag Youth in Industry to promote us. Right about now, as Madam Phyllis has said, we haven't been able to do this on our own. We've had the help of GIZ, and here to speak to us about that is the, I'm learning accents, you know, I'm learning how to pronounce this, the Chargé d'Affaires? Is that how, that's the one, the Chargé d'Affaires, Herr Thomas Wimmer. That's the one. Welcome to the stage, Bwana Thomas Wimmer. Karibu sana, karibu sana. Welcome, welcome.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie, for deeming me youthful enough to be part of this event today. Thank you very much. Good morning, Phyllis Wakiaga, the CEO of CAM and hostess of today's meeting. Good morning, the Honorable P.S. Julius Korir, State Department Youth, the Honorable P.S. Julius Dwan, State Department TVET, who is about to come in, probably while I'm speaking, colleagues and staff from the Kenya Association of Manufacturers and GIZ German Cooperation. A special welcome to Thomas Jeschke, the new E4D team leader. Ladies and gentlemen, and of course a special asanteni sana to all those who are joining us on the social media. Kenya and Germany look back on a long-standing partnership based on mutual respect and trust, with development cooperation as a core element. Our cooperation has been going on, is going back until even before the Kenyan independence, as Charlie has already pointed out. Since 2018, the main goal of German Development Cooperation is to create jobs together with our Kenyan partners, especially for young people. German Development Cooperation's activities in sustainable economic development, implemented through GIZ German Cooperation and KfW German Development Bank, support the Kenya government in promoting youth employability by focusing on both demand for and supply of skilled labor. Our skills development agenda is in line with the Kenyan government's development agenda, contributing towards the Vision 2030. In boosting skills development as a vehicle towards promoting youth employment, German Development Cooperation closely cooperates with the Ministries of Education and Industrialization, Trade and Enterprise Development. The policy environment, experience, goodwill, and qualified, dedicated staff in our Kenyan partner ministries complement the technical expertise we are bringing on the table. Together, they are creating an environment for sustainable development in the sector. But it is one thing for civil servants, development cooperation staff, and diplomats to work on this. What, however, is the key to success is that the private sector is a driving force to achieving these goals. Cooperation with the private manufacturing sector to advance TVET skills is the key to the Big Four agenda priority projects. And if we don't succeed in TVET, achieving the goal of creating 1.3 million manufacturing jobs by 2022 will be very difficult, to put it mildly. Where are we as German Development Cooperation engaged in this context? The Employment and Skills for Development in Africa program, short E4D, implemented for the German government by GIZ German Cooperation, is working hand in hand with the Kenyan government and with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers to roll out competency-based education and training to improve the quality of TVET in the country. Beneficiaries gain from both theory and practice and hands-on experience in the industry and are assessed based on internationally benchmarked international standards and curricula. This plugs into the manufacturing priority areas and ensures the churning out of experienced graduates who are well conversant with new and relevant technology in the industry. In another example, we partner with private sector to support industry-based practical trainings in selected trades, including masonry, carpentry, plumbing, electrical installation, welding and metalwork, roofing, painting, and tile layering, based on demand of construction projects. Beneficiaries spend 3 months in theory and practice training sessions and another 3 months in a construction site to gain hands-on experience. The partnerships with the private sector to support practical trainings creates a ready pool of trained youths in these areas that the government can tap into for the affordable housing priority. The role of the Kenya Association of Manufacturers in involving the private sector in all these TVET projects cannot be overstated. COM plays a pivotal role as a bridge to the industry and the training institutions. Today, I want to seize this opportunity to commend them for their great work and thank you for your continued cooperation. Thank you very much.
Round of applause for Bwana Thomas. Bwana Thomas, before you leave the stage, just a quick question. First thing, thank you so much to the GIZ for your participation in this amazing program. Also, can we all note that he's matching the theme of the day, the color theme, the blue suit with the blue of the cam. Amazing. Before you go, before you go, a bad joke for you.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you know some Swahili?
I don't, unfortunately.
Have you been on a matatu?
Of course.
So you are, guys, flow with me here. You are the chargé d'affaires at the German embassy,
right.
One of the head honchos there. When I get into a matatu, one of the head honchos there is the conductor, and when I get in, he charges me the fare. You guys get it.
Okay.
You guys get it.
I don't need a lot of Swahili for that one.
You get that one. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for coming through. In case you're just streaming in live now, we're live at the White Room at, let me switch to this microphone. There we go. We are live at the White Room at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers for this, the launch of the E4D, the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa. By there, if you want to use the hashtags, it's Employment for DEVEP, like DEVEP, or hashtag Youth in Industry. Sant sana to the guys at GIZ and to Germany as well. I want to say, Germany, tungekuwa wapi bila nyinyi? Tumetoka Berlin now. It's some more bad jokes. They'll hit later. But right about now, all young people are excited about two things right now. An opportunity to get trained and to get employment, which is what we're serving here. But if you've heard, young people are also excited about the PS5. You guys have heard that. The PS5 is very popular, the PlayStation 5. Anyone know what? You want to tell us, you know, the PlayStation 5. Young people are very excited about it. But the PS that they should be excited about is the one in the room right now. I'm talking about the Principal Secretary at the State Department for Youth, the man who's all about the youth forever, now and forever. It's even in his Twitter handle, Bwana Julius Coril. Karibu sana to the stage. Asante sana, karibu. A round of applause for the PS.
Thank you. I think I'm safe to remove my mask. Good morning, everyone. Sorry, I came in a bit late and had a morning conference call that took longer than usual, but I am glad I made it. So to all our viewers who are online, those of us who are here, I want to recognize Madam Phyllis, the CEO for CAM, Thomas Weinmer, the Deputy Head of Mission from the German Embassy, and all of us who are here. I think for me, it's a great pleasure to stand before you as we talk and deliberate on issues touching on youth, particularly youth employment. And today, as we launch this important program, Employment for Development Program, which aims at increasing youth employability, this is something that for us as a State Department, we are very happy. And we're looking at how everyone is joining us to discuss and see how we can create more jobs for young people. I think, as you may know, the recent demographic survey report that was launched last year by the Kenya government indicates that about 14.5 million Kenyans are aged between 18 and 35, and that is about 30% of 47 million, making them a significant segment and driver in the achievement of sustainable development goals, Kenya Vision 2030, and also our national development aspirations. Further, the report also shows that 38% of the youth population is either inactive, underemployed, or unemployed, that thereby limiting their participation in economic development. And when you look at it now socially, it is also a bad portent in that when these energetic people are under-engaged, they may go into vices that may harm the society. And so as a government, we are looking at all what is possible to see how this population can be engaged fully. And then we, as a government and as a country, we reap the demographic dividends. Sorry. Additionally, in response to the infectious COVID-19 disease, industries and other businesses, and I think Phyllis will tell you how it has affected the industry, the businesses had to cut down their activities, leading to job losses and unpaid leaves for retained staff. It is estimated that about 1.72 million workers lost jobs during this period, caused by induced lockdown that was imposed to contain the spread. This exacerbated the youth unemployment challenges across the country and the world generally, forcing governments to initiate economic stimulus packages to stimulate the economy. And I think, as you already know, Kenya had its own measures, which included the Kazi Mtaani under the National Hygiene Program, which was targeting youth who were vulnerable and had been exposed by the COVID. As a department, we've taken an initiative in ensuring that all these youth under the program are trained on entrepreneurial skills and promote startups for small and micro enterprises as an avenue for creating alternative jobs opportunities for them. And we also trained them on financial literacy, because we are telling them with the little earnings they're making, they could save and then be able to leverage on the government affirmative funds and be able to start jobs and occupy themselves. And we've seen quite some remarkable success since we started this program of training the young people under the Kazi Mtaani. Ladies and gentlemen, in the famous words of prominent American talk show host Oprah Winfrey, and I think she's a champion, she's a fan. She says, challenges are gifts that force us to search for new centers of gravity. So don't fight them, just find a new way to stand. And I think this is a message that applies to us as a country at this time, that when times are hard, let's not try to fight, but let's find a way of standing in despite the challenges. In line with this, we continue and commit to initiating programs and partnerships to address the challenges facing youth. You can agree with me that the program we are launching today would not have come at a better time than this. We are therefore grateful to the partnerships between ourselves, that is the Department for Youth, as well as also the KM and the German Federal Ministry of Economic Cooperation, that is GIZ, for initiating and supporting this program. It is reported that there is a preference of public sector jobs to the private sector jobs, particularly by the people who are job seeking, and this is caused by the promise of security of work. However, you will all agree with me that there is limited employment opportunities available out there in the public sector. This reality has turned policy attention to ways of promoting entrepreneurship as a tool for creating private sector jobs. Allow me, therefore, to delve into specific interventions that we have put in place as government to support entrepreneurial activities in Kenya, and particularly to the young people. I think you've heard of the affirmative action funds, which we have as a government, that is Youth Fund, Uwezo Fund, and Women Enterprise Fund. All these funds are geared towards giving startup capital to young entrepreneurs and the vulnerable. And the only challenge that we have, which we've noticed in the past, is that one, there is little awareness of these funds by the young people, and also the approaches to apply or the procedures are also a little bit not known. And so as a State Department, what we've done is that we are now making it a priority that we promote purposely these funds so that young people can apply them. We are also re-engineering the loan products within, especially the Youth Fund, which is under our jurisdiction, and we've reduced the turnaround time, and we are seeing now a lot of uptake of these loans by young people. We also reorganized these loan products to give young people a moratorium, give young people tax rebates, interest rebates, so that they are able to survive the COVID pandemic. Uwezo Fund also is capitalized to the tune of about 5.9 billion shillings, and we've so far given loans to groups, about 65,000 groups, and we hope that we will continue growing this. We also have, as government, another program, which is access to government procurement opportunity, which targets or set aside 30% of government procurement opportunities reserved for youth, women, and people with disabilities. And so, again, this is a way of government trying to encourage young people to start businesses, so as a way of creating jobs. And I think we've just signed recently with KM an MOU on how now even to further nurture this group, mentor this group, and make them scale up their activities so that they can not only sustain or create sustainable jobs for the owners of the businesses who are young, but also create jobs for their friends. As a ministry also, we have the Kenya Youth Employment and Opportunities Program, which is a World Bank funded program seeking to train young people on and also provide entrepreneurial skills. The training is looking at life skills as well as also vocational training using the master craftsman approach. And we've seen a number of young people starting successful businesses. We are targeting 280,000 youth, and so far we are at around 45,000 trained. And out of this, we are experiencing that is transition to jobs, sustainable jobs, of about 80% of the cohorts who have gone through this program. So you see, those are some of the very deliberate efforts by government to see that young people embrace entrepreneurship and also are given skills, vocational skills, which they can use to create jobs for themselves and also their colleagues. On the other hand, also, we have what we call Ajira Digital Program, which is a government initiative that seeks to empower young people to access digital jobs. And the program has been introducing the youth in Kenya to online work and providing tools, mentorship, and the training needed for them to acquire and tap into the online job opportunities. An Ajira digital portal has been developed, and one has to register on it, ajiradigital.go.ke. And so far as we are talking, we've given training to over 21,700 youth, and they have jobs which they are sustaining as we are talking. We have 23 Ajira clubs all over the country, and these are available in the universities and technical institutions such as Nairobi University, Kenyatta University, JKUAT, among others. And actually, the 21,700 are jobs that they have already earned, and we have trained over 50,000 on Ajira platforms. So again, we are also in the process of helping young people protect their intellectual property rights, and the ministry has a platform which we are calling White Box, which is meant to encourage young people with innovations to post them there, and then we promote those innovations to potential investors, to potential people who are able to take up and scale it up so that they can help young people. And at the same time, working with Kenya Industrial Property Institute to promote the training on how the young people can protect their intellectual properties. Also, as a way of encouraging startups, government has been working on how to lower administrative burdens, and I think this is where e-citizen platform has been made available to cut this problem, and we are seeing a lot of young people uptaking e-citizen services so that they can grow their businesses. So further, the government has put in place the Kenya Youth Development Policy, and this is meant to promote a holistic empowerment and participation of youth in socio-economic development. Karibu PS, karibu sana. And so the Kenya Youth Development Policy seeks at harmonizing and strengthening the support that is given to youth empowerment. And we have seen in the policy, it is looking at how to strengthen apprenticeship, internship, coaching, mentorship, and creation of opportunities to earn decent and sustainable livelihoods by our young people. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that I think from what I've said, that is a demonstration by government that we are willing to work on how to empower young people. And the way we are structured as a State Department, we are present in up to sub-county level, and in every constituency, we have what we call youth empowerment centers. These are spaces that are reserved for young people where youth-friendly services are offered. And at the moment, what we are doing is that we are connecting them to fiber optic so that internet services will be provided. We are also using them as places where we can offer support, incubation programs where the young people can grow their businesses. So as government, I think what I want to say is that there is dedication to focus, and this we are leveraging on the fact that our president is the global youth champion, and so we are using that platform to be able also to demonstrate what government is doing for its young people. So finally, as I conclude, we acknowledge that we cannot meet the national development goals without the involvement of young people. We have committed to continue investing in their aspirations through skills development, apprenticeships, on-the-job training, coaching and mentorship, business programs, and creation of enabling social and political environment. Finally, I know that our efforts alone are not enough to fully support youth. I strongly believe that concerted effort by various players can go a long way to fully support youth employment and apprenticeship. And I therefore hope we shall continue to work together as well as embrace new partnerships and capitalize on the partner strengths to make dreams for our young people a reality. And as I think we know the wave that is going on globally, we need to engage the young people so that we can harness the benefit that comes from them. So with those remarks, I now have the pleasure to officially launch the Employment for Development program. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. Bwana Julius, before you leave the stage, Principal Secretary in the State Department for Youth, quick question to you. Are you a bit envious of young people right now? Did you guys have a program when you left school, high school? Kulikuwa na kitu kama hii? What was that?
Kukukwa.
Okay, so you're a bit envious.
So you guys take advantage of this. Okay. We grew up, we were only trained to be employed. And that was white-collar jobs. Even if you had a dream to start a business, there were no support during our time.
But so, it's there now.
Fully there. Maybe the awareness is not there, but that is why we are embracing partnership, promoting these programs of government and policies so that young people can take advantage of them. So the times are good.
Okay, yeah. Amazing. Asante sana. A round of applause for Bwana Julius Korir. And Bwana Julius really represents something that I strongly believe in. Be the change you want to see in the world. Bwana Julius didn't have these opportunities when he left school, but now he's making them for us young people right now. Asante sana. I told you guys, stop being excited about the PS5. The only PSs you need to be excited about are with us right here in the White Room at Calm House. This right here is the launch of the E4D, the Employment and Skills Development in Africa program, and we're about to get into it now. Before that, it's all about TVET students, technical and vocational education and training. So those are the people who are focused on, and the person whose main agenda is to focus on them is actually here with us right now. Now, I'm not sure, should I pronounce your last name Juan or Juan? Which one should I go? Juan. So with us right now, sorry, let me. Sometimes these things just confuse you a little bit. So with us right now is someone who is responsible for things to do with TVET training. Right about now in the White Room with us is the PS, the Principal Secretary in the State Department of Vocational and Technical Training. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Dr. Julius Juan. Karibu sana. Karibu sana. A round of applause. Kadogo. Kadogo. That's the one. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. Do we remove? Okay, because I'm all alone, eh? Okay. Thank you very much to the leadership of CAM, led by Phyllis, my colleague, Julius, like me, and the representatives from the German embassy. I've just met the deputy ambassador leaving, told me he's made his remarks, and all of us who are here. I'm sorry for coming in a bit late. I was actually on my way when I was told to go back and sort out some things by my boss before I would be able to come. But allow me to say that I'm very excited, happy to see you. I'm very excited about this launch and this opportunity that is being granted to the young people in Kenya. Sorry that I'm making my remarks after he has launched the function. But I think from the State Department of VTT, Vocational and Technical Training point of view, we can't ask for better. Allow me to start by saying that when we look at the number of the youth who left secondary school last year, I always give that example. We had 660,000 plus who sat the KCSE exams. Of that number, 122,000 plus, few hundreds, have been admitted into the university. Some have already reported, some will be reporting. That means we have over 540,000 youth who finished their secondary schooling and they're looking for opportunities, gainful opportunities on training and how they can make their lives better. Now, this youth can only get opportunity in TVET, in the middle-level colleges. That gives us an impression of the number of youth that we release from the school into the country, let me say that, and the fact that if we don't pay attention to them, then we are headed for trouble. And therefore, in our department, we are trying to revamp the way that we look at TVET training. One, first of all, by making the institutions places that youth would admire to be. Two, retraining our technical trainers to align their skills with modern technology. And that we are doing by freeing the space at KTTC to remain the premier trainers institution that is supposed to be. We have since requested COOPs to take the students who have been admitted there to other institutions so that we can use KTTC to retrain our trainers, to give them modern skills so that the training that they give to our youth can be relevant to what the market requires. And at KTTC again, we are trying to ensure that the trainers who are in the field can have continuous professional development. They can have modern skills in ICT and training. And most critically, we can offer pedagogical training to our trainers who are not teachers. But even those who are teachers were trained on how to teach young people. We have to retrain them on how to deal with adults. The other thing that we are doing is exactly what we have launched here today, trying to ensure that the training and the skills that we give to the youth is relevant to what the industry requires. And this is where we come in to appreciate the efforts that we get from all players led by KM, by CAM, in the sense that they're the ones who know the skills that they require. I've always given an example that when we were starting CBC, I was invited for a function by investors in this country, and they made a presentation to indicate the amount of money that they spend on retraining the youth that they hire. And we thought that maybe if we had engagements like this early during the training process, then we would save that money so that you get people who have already had engagement with the industry, the skills that they're acquiring are relevant to the industry, and we can only do that if we have these kinds of engagements so that the youth, those who are going or undergoing training, really know what the industry requires. So we thank you very much for this initiative. And I think it's exciting to know that they can do this online. I think that is, because young people these days have their phones, they have their laptops, and so if they can access the opportunity to check what exists in the industry, to check, apply for internship, and even apply for jobs, I think that is the best that you can ever do so that we move away from, the traditional approach where you have to go and put all your papers together, you go and apply somewhere and hope that somebody somewhere will invite you for an interview. So we want to thank you very much for this kind of engagement. We have a lot of things that we are doing in TVET, and again, allow me to thank the German government for the support that you're giving us through GIZ and other organizations affiliated to the program that you are helping us deal with in offering training at KTTC, Kiambu Institute of Science and Technology, Thika Institute of Science and Technology, and Nairobi Technical. The exciting thing about that program, and we pray that it will be replicated in other technical training institutions, is embedding the training with the industry so that the learners spend some time in their technical training institutions and then they spend another 3 or so months with the industry. So it is back and forth so that by the time they come out, they're actually industry ready. I presume this is part of that big engagement, and we hope that we can see how we can replicate this in other training areas that we have not started on, and probably we'll be having an engagement to see how we can expand this in a small way to other technical training institutions out of Nairobi. I think we are also trying to reorganize the governance of our technical training institutions to ensure that the resources that we put there are managed prudently. And so we've been going through that process, ensuring that they employ qualified finance officers, internal auditors, at least upgrading them as we go through transition from them being employees of Teacher Service Commission to where they are now. So we are making so many changes, but I'm sure the most important thing in all this is to ensure that the youth of this country get relevant skills that can help them gain full employment and add to the growth of the economy of this country. I'm sure my colleague Julius Rotich has already said a lot on the issues and how the government is dealing with various programs, Kazi Mtaani and several others that support the whole process. With that, I think, allow me to thank you very much once more and wish you well as we continue with this program. Thank you.
Asante sana, Bwana Julius. Have you guys noticed, maybe I'm the only one, Bwana Julius, did you do any radio back in your day? You have an amazing, big, booming voice. That would be perfect for radio. You could start. I'm telling you, you could start. Government radio, I would tune into your show, sir. But asante sana, asante sana. We're just about to launch, guys. We're here. If you're just tuning in online, this is the E4D launch, the Employment and Skills Development for Africa, in Africa, right here at the White Room in CAM, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers House. We've heard from some amazing people today. Let me tell you one thing that I've learned, apart from the youth are important and we need to take our place, is that if you get a son, call him Julius, because look at the trend here. Look at the trend here. We have Julius Korir, a PS. We have another PS, Julius Juan. And also, is there an Olympic gold medalist also called Julius? Am I? Julius Yego. I'm telling you, you get a son, you call him Julius. But right about now, we're just about to launch this. Julius Muya as well. Hey, I'm telling you, you need to name your child Julius. So if you're watching this, take one thing away from this, name your son Julius. So right about now, we're about to launch. I want to invite the key stakeholders here onto the stage. Madam Phyllis Inspiration Wakiaga, if you could join us in a bit. 1 second. Sawa sawa, Madam Phyllis on stage, Bwana Julius and Bwana Julius, if you could join us on stage right now. We're just about to do the launch. It's the launch of the E4D right now. And Bwana Thomas, representing GIZ, if you could join us on stage, tafadhali. Okay, we're just about to launch. And ladies and gentlemen, you want to train your eyes over there. So do we do a countdown now? Are you guys ready? We start from 5. Give me some help right here, even here on stage. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. That was amazing. That was amazing. Guys, round of applause. That's there. The launch of the E4D program promoting youth employment through entrepreneurship and skills development. Asanteni sana, sana, sana. You guys can have your seats. You guys watching from home, there's a video we're about to play that you might want to check out right now. It's a video that will show you the importance of what we're doing here today. As we continue, we're about to get into a very important conversation, but let's check out the video first. Let's check it out. Video is loading. So it's a video about the women and skills development right now. But if you're just tuning in, this is the launch of the E4D. There's the video. There's the video. Let's go.
Naitwa Christine Chebutei. Nilisomea Rift Valley Technical Training Institute. Baada ya kusoma nikaitwa internship through KM, nikaitwa Rivertex East Africa. Nimesomea electrical, mostly instrumentation and control option. The motivation part ilikuwa upande wa tuseme mostly watu wanasema machali ndio wanafanya hiyo electrical nini, but mimi upande wangu niliona about the employment part. Unaweza kuwa self-employed kwa hii electrical. Unaweza amua uanze electronic shop yako. Yeah, challenge ilikuwa mostly pia kwa shule. As per me, in my class, I was the only lady. So niligain hiyo confidence kukuwa na wanaume. Sasa kukuja upande wa kazi, I felt it was just normal. Just an encouragement to young women is that there's an equal opportunity for all of us. When somebody was created, you are created with a mind and hand. That means that we all can do whatever you aspire to do. I started from a level of a technician, then I went to a level of a supervisor in production. Right now I'm a production manager. I think I'm a good example.
The best technicians we can have are the female students because of the carefulness of what they do. The activities they take or they carry out are always carefully done, okay? And that is what we are looking for when we are training these students.
We encourage more women to get into the TVET institutions and take the engineering courses because it is no longer a male-dominated field, and we want to give them chance and mentor them so that we ensure their future is guaranteed.
Women in manufacturing is, I think, one of the interesting topics we have been looking at as CAM, and we recently launched a report on the same. One of the issues that did come out, of course, is that women are underrepresented within the manufacturing sector, and this definitely impacts in terms of how the number of women who also get into the pipeline of manufacturing. But we are seeing the trend shifting with more female executives making their way to the top and creating conducive environments to enable women to work within the manufacturing sector.
For people who are there outside, naeza encourage they should not choose any, let's say they should not choose courses because maybe it is for men or it is for ladies. So if a man can do, then a lady can also do.
Amazing video right there. I know I'm supposed to be Team Boy Child here at the launch of the E4D program, but you have to admit there's some solid points there. Attention to detail. Us men might be kuskuma kila kitu, but attention to detail, it's the ladies. Are any men going to oppose me on that one? No? Are any men going to oppose me? Attention, if you dare not. Attention to detail, that's what we want right here. We are here at the White Room at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers House right here. Kwa mji mkuu wa Nairobi for the E4D launch. We just launched it right now. We are promoting youth employment through entrepreneurship and skills development. There's that gap in inakwanga. When you leave school, you're not sure where to go, or maybe you studied something that ukienda kwa employer anasema, you know, like, I know you've been to school, but that's not what I'm looking for. So that's what we are fixing right here. And we're about to get into a very heavy conversation about it. Before we do that, there's a question coming through on our Twitter, I believe. Someone called the African Voice. Good morning to you. You've asked, how has the pandemic affected creation of job opportunities in the country? How has the pandemic affected creation of job opportunities in the country? Who feels like tackling this one? Bona Julius, Madam Phyllis, who feels like tackling that one? I know Bona Julius Korir, you kind of mentioned it a little bit in your, if we can get, do you have a second microphone that can go straight to Bona Julius? So remember, if you want to ask a question, we have a wealth of experience here, champions of industry who you can ask any question. Are you a young person? You've been trained out there. Maybe you feel like your skills aren't matching, or maybe you feel like there's like a gap somewhere. Ask us that question and share this live stream with anyone you believe who might benefit from it. So Bona Julius Korir, how has the pandemic affected creation of job opportunities in the country?
Thank you so much. I think in my speech I alluded to the fact that COVID-19 pandemic caused unprecedented havoc on the business sector. First, the measures put in place to contain the spread caused the industry to slow down. One, the curfew time reduced the work time. The closure of certain business sectors caused the decline in consumption. And normally, jobs is a function of consumption of goods and services. So this made companies now to adjust their workforce and production cycles to be able to survive the hard times. Now, one of the measures that most businesses did was to lay off workers. And in such cases, normally it is the first in, last in, first out. Those are the young people who have just been employed. They don't have sufficient experiences. And so when when the businesses are struggling, those are normally the first people to be let go. The other thing also is that those who are retained, they were forced to get reduced salaries. And as a result, you find that now there are more people out there who were looking for jobs, and there were no jobs. Then the other thing also is that with reduction in consumption, companies were not able to sell, and as such, so it was just a vicious circle.
But are we are recovering from? Oh, madam. Okay, we'll get you in just a bit. Are we recovering from that? We've seen what has happened. Are we recovering as an economy, as young people looking for work? Are we on the path to recovery?
I think when you look at what the government has done, the economic stimulus package was a way of trying now to help companies overcome the hardships that they had gone through. And as a result, demand is also picking up. And with demand picking up, then the entire business value chain is picking up, and jobs will be created, though not initially very fast, but slowly jobs are coming. So we're seeing the economy would have gone into a recession, but now as it is, we're just teetering out of it, and it will be able to pick up quickly. Thanks.
Okay. Amazing, amazing. Just one last question. We're going to sanitize the microphone and then hand it to Madam Phyllis. Before Madam Phyllis gets the mic, this one is a good one for Bwana PS Julius Juan. Someone is asking this, that in the past, historically, there have been perceptions about TVET institutions. They are like, oh, ati mini enda TVET, mini, wacha niende huku. And we still feel them even now. What's being done to change this? And why is it important for people to look at TVET institutions in a different light?
Thank you very much. I think the perception has always been there. That is part of what we are working on. But let's look at it historically. You know, soon after gaining our independence, the education system was to give people skills, or rather, let me say, competencies to take over government jobs. I think what we famously, refer to as the white-collar jobs, because many positions were being created, and actually the so-called white-collar jobs were there. Although we had a little requirement for technical training, and we started technical training institutions, the emphasis was more on you go to school, go to the university, and get a job. As time has gone by, you realize that even some of our technical institutions that existed then were turned into universities. We took too long to appreciate that times were changing. And having participated in the third reform of the education system in this country, we faced a lot of resistance. I think probably we still do when we were starting the competency-based education. Now, the reason why we went into CBC, which is now in grade 4, was to reorient and reorganize the thinking about education. That education is not just about going to the university, but education is the ability to give learners and empower them to have skills and competencies that can lead them into gainful employment. And when we talk of these, one of the components that was completely missing within our education system was the soft skills. What you call, the 21st century skills. Talk about entrepreneurial skills, ICT skills, people relations, leadership, etc., etc. So within the current education system, the CBC, that is fully embedded. It is supposed to help us change attitude on what education is supposed to give us. And within that program, you will see that 60% of the learners will be expected to go into technical training. But most critically, as we do that, we are currently working with the Kenya Secondary School Heads Association to help socialize learners in how they choose their career. When I went to school, career choice was basically about which university do you want to go to and which course do you want to go to. We are trying to change that so that learners can be socialized from secondary school, that post-secondary, you have a wide variety of what you can do. And TVET therefore gets embedded as a pathway. The third thing we are trying to do is to ensure that when you go through TVET, it is a pathway. If you want to proceed, you can go as high as you can, and we hope universities, we are working with them through Kenya National Qualifications Authority to ensure that when you proceed and go to the university, you get the waivers that you deserve. You don't go through technical training, maybe at diploma level, go to the university, then you are told, start from first year. So we are doing several things, but again, as I mentioned earlier, we must also make our technical training institutions attractive. If you wake up today, go to Nairobi Technical, I think you will see it completely different. You must feel proud to be part of it. We must offer relevant skills. And so these are some of the things that we are doing to ensure that that perception changes. And of course, what we are doing here today, as my colleague Korir mentioned, we need to find a way, and I think we have a program that is coming up, being supported by GIZ, where we are developing a communication strategy on everything that we do in TVET, so that we cease having sporadic, snapshot of communication on what needs to happen and have a sustained engagement with the public to help change attitude. Many other things we are doing. Thank you.
Okay, and I think we'll also, as that mic gets sanitized, we'll also have a few, I believe we'll show people a few class examples. Like me, myself, I went to uni, I studied IT, business IT. sidhani kuna mahali hapa Hill sikutembea nikiangusha CV. Nilitembea kote, but then I started, I'm more into the film and media side. So I bought a little camera, nikaenda Nyamakema, nikatengenezewa 2 lights, and I started shooting on my own. Because of that technical nature of it, it encourages entrepreneurship, because you can start your own thing. You can start, no. Yes.
I think part of what we are doing in the training, which has to be made very clear, is the entrepreneurial component of training. And that entrepreneurial component is not just to empower you to go and start your own business, as you are saying, which is wonderful.
Yes.
But even if you're employed in an industry, even if you're a technical person, you must have an entrepreneurial mind to know that what you're producing should be so good that when it goes out there, it markets itself. But again, if you have that skill to help you open your own industry, that is wonderful. In fact, I was being told of a study, which we are now expanding, a tracer study that revealed that those who go through TVET, about 40% like you, in STEM, start their own, their own industry. And they have gone ahead to employ so many other Kenyans. So I agree with you fully, and I think it's the way to go. Thank you.
It's that entrepreneurial side of it. Finally, as we get the mic, we're just about to get into a very fire conversation. Oh, we can move? Are you certain? Okay, Sansa, we're just about to go into a very important conversation here. It's all about young people and what we're doing here with E4D. So we are going to have a panel on stage with all the stakeholders here. Of course, we have to start with the representative from the GIZ, Bwana Thomas. Maybe you can join us on stage. We'll have this amazing conversation. Bwana Thomas will tell us all about, Karibu, welcome. Don't mind the confetti, it's all a good time, So, Madam Phyllis, tafadhali, if you can join us, I'll move my podium a bit to the side, like so. Remember, as we're being joined on stage by the panelists, you need to tell us at home. Think about it, if you're a young person right now. There we go, now we're good. If you're a young person right now watching this, you need to ask yourself this. The skills that you've received, have the skills that you've received as a young person, have they promoted you, given you a platform to entrepreneurship? Think about that as we invite our panelists to stage. So we also have a representative from CATI, the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. And also, by the way, the name of some of our favorite games when we were kids. You guys remember Kati? You guys remember Kati? No, but Julius, you can't tell me you never played Kati. Did you play Kati? You played Kati. So you have a representative coming through in just a bit from the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. Karibu sana, sana, sana. And I believe with that, we have one more panelist. And finally, the man who's all about technical and vocational education, PS. Bwana Julius Joan. Join us on the panel. We need to have a discussion about this. Karibu sana, karibu sana. Yes. That's a nice balance. Permission to sit here. So, Madam Phyllis, do you want to start us off before I start the questions with what the point that you wanted to raise earlier?
No, thank you very much. I think the point would even be related to the conversation we are having. I'm not sure if I should remove my mask. I can remove my mask? Oh, okay, that's fine. Yes, so I was saying my comment was related probably to the conversation we're having and the question someone asked about the impact of COVID on jobs. I know PS spoke extensively about the impact it's had in terms of really affecting the creation of jobs.
Yeah.
I also wanted to add the impact it's had in terms of new opportunities.
Yes.
Because during this COVID period, we've seen a number of new opportunities emerge. If you look at the manufacturing sector as an example, you have a lot of products that have been produced during this season locally that were not produced before.
True.
So I think that is a big opportunity. If you look at e-commerce also, it's emerged as a serious enabler for the manufacturing sector and also for trade during this period. So another big opportunity. And in Kenya, our e-commerce, a lot of it is linked to the delivery services, where we see a lot of innovation from whether it's the boda bodas and the other systems that have been created around delivery. So a lot of room for opportunities in terms of innovation, also for the youth. So that was what I wanted to add, that we can take it with both sides. Look at the challenges, which are real, but also look at how we can tap into the opportunities that have emerged because of COVID.
Okay, asante sana. Asante sana. If you're just joining us, by the way, you're watching the launch of the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa, the E4D program. GIZ and CAM doing that amazing thing. Use the hashtag Employment for DEVEP. That's DEVEP. If you want to reach us on social media, Kenya Association of Manufacturers on Facebook and on YouTube. On stage right now, we're about to have a fire conversation, and it's all about the necessity of this entire program and how it can help us as Kenyans. Not just the young people in Kenya, we are the future, but also the entire country. And with us on stage, we have a representative from GIZ, Bwana Thomas Yashke. Did I get that correct? I got that correct. If you just switch on your mic. There we go. Bwana Thomas, welcome, Santi Sana, for joining us. Quick question, before we even get to the main questions that I wanted to ask you, I need to ask this. Germany, of course, is we look to you guys in terms of development and in terms of like industry. We look up to you guys. What is the necessity of technical skills, especially with young people, in the development of an economy and in the industry? Is it necessary? Is it necessary?
Well, sure.
Yes.
I think it was well explained by the Deputy Ambassador.
Yes.
The necessity of involving and integrating the youth into the economic sector and into the manufacturing sector in this case. So it's out of question that now, considering a country, such a young country as Kenya, this is a challenge, and none of the targets of the government can be achieved if this is not done, right?
Did you have any technical training in your youth? What is it? You look like a man who knows how to use your hands. What technical thing were you interested in, or did you get trained in when you were young?
No, I actually went straight up to the university and studied agronomy. So
agronomy.
Yes. Agricultural engineer. Yes.
Okay.
So I actually studied, but as you know, in Germany, even the university is very practical. So during the studies, you have to include a lot of practical training, so at least 1 year in my case. So even the higher studies are TVET related, so to say.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, so even in the university, you're in there, like you're getting, is there a better word for this? Getting your hands dirty. Exactly. I know it sounds bad, but that's like having your hands in the business, like what you're doing. Okay, so the German Federal Republic, through GIZ, you've played a big part in harnessing the youth entrepreneurship and skills development. Maybe tell us the exact role that you have and why this is very important to the GIZ.
Yeah, well, our role is to support our partners. We are here to help. And I think, well, I have to say I'm new in Kenya, so I just arrived 1 month ago.
Oh, we say karibu.
Asante sana.
There you go.
So I'm listening. I'm still in the stage of learning, but what I can see and what I'm already very happy about it is to see the joint cooperation and the arrangement of different institutions here, from government, from the public, from the private sector. We are even working with the civil society, with NGOs. So this setup of different organizations working together, targeting youth employment is, of course, the main issue and the entry point for us. So we as German Corporation, and in our case, the Employment and Skills for Development project, works through partnerships. That's our approach.
Yeah.
We are not implementing alone. We are, of course, working with the
sector, there are a number of sectors. As CAM, we represent almost 14 sectors. And within all of those, there's a big opportunity for the youth to contribute in those sectors. So the program we have launched today, and the one we have been carrying out for the last 3 years, is helping them plug into the opportunities by providing them the skills. Once they have the skills, also ensuring that we give them a place where they can hone their skills, because if they are able to be placed in industry, understand how industry operates, that also gives them a great opportunity to be able to hone their skills. And also a big opportunity for research and development for them, and the ability to innovate. Because a lot of them, in the jobs they are in, and we looked at a number of videos, they have a space where they can be very innovative. And the PS spoke about the need of entrepreneurship and the mindset within the job market. So what we are doing is really providing them with those skills that then give them and open a world of opportunities that they can take advantage of within the manufacturing sector.
Okay, yeah. Okay. We saw a few videos of some ladies in the manufacturing centers. Yes. I want to ask you, apart from what we've seen, we're seeing the products, but how did they get there? What are the platforms that CAM has set up for especially ladies to take up those spaces?
What we are doing as CAM is we are trying to be deliberate about getting more women to participate within the manufacturing sector. We run a program called Women in Manufacturing. And the program, WIM, yes, I think you've heard about it. The program operates at the level where we try and build more women entrepreneurs. We also try and work with more women within the manufacturing sector to grow into management positions, but also work on the technical skills and the shop floor, so that we have more women, first of all, interested in getting trained in TVET and also getting trained in TVET and giving them the ability and a working environment that really enables more women to get into the sector. So that's what Women in Manufacturing is doing, and partnering with our TVET program at CAM, also working with the E4D program, ensuring that we also are deliberate about prioritizing and working with the technical institutes to see more women get through the pipeline. Because if we are not conscious at that level and we are waiting in the job market for them, I think we'll not really see that growth. But the work we are doing is trying to be very deliberate and say, how do we get more women to be trained in technical skills? How do we make them attractive, first of all? And then when they get to the job, how do we enable them, first of all, to find a good working environment and to hone their skills on the job?
Okay, before we get to the questions for the PS, guys, remember, if you're tuning in right now on Facebook or on YouTube, you need to ask us the questions right now. Just comment down below. They'll get here to my tablet, and we will ask them to these leaders of industry in just a bit. Madam Phyllis, before you switch your mic off, before you switch it off, there's probably a lady watching right now, and you've said that we need to get ladies more interested in the opportunity here.
Yes.
Maybe, because you're the inspiration to so many young women out there. Do you want to speak to them directly into camera, speak to them and tell them about about why they should be interested? Because they look up to you.
I just want to encourage women that they should be interested in the conversations we are having here today, and also the opportunities within the manufacturing sector. The Association of Manufacturers carried out a study earlier this year. We launched it about 2 months ago. And it's evident that within the manufacturing sector, it's a really male-dominated sector. And there are a lot of opportunities that we can take advantage of as women. So we encourage you to look at these programs that we are offering, to look at the E4D partnership that we have launched today, and see how you can take advantage of these opportunities. Technical skills are both for men and women, and we want to encourage as many of you to take advantage of the opportunities that exist within these programs and the different programs that are trying to drive the involvement of women within the manufacturing sector.
And that's, they say, young people say, and that's on period. That's what we're talking about. You've heard that one, Bwana Thomas, you've heard that. They're saying that's on, when someone tells you that's on period, know that the story is done. Nivo, kwisha maneno. So, Bwana Principal Secretary, State Department of Vocational and Technical Training. This is your docket, basically. This is square under your docket. My question is, are the skills that young people are being trained right now in TVET, can we compete globally? Like, can you be trained right here, and then if Bwana Thomas is going back home on holiday, you tell him, hey, let's go, let me show them what I have in Germany. And can you compete in the international market?
Allow me to say yes. Yes, because we look at skills as a spectrum. Really, it's a transitional process. We have those who are at the very top, we have those who are at the very bottom, and we have those who are in the middle. So let's look at the transformation of skills and training as a continuum. It's a process that is ongoing, and therefore there are areas where we do pretty well, and I think that has been demonstrated. I know M-Pesa is always a wonderful example of creativity and innovation that the country is able to offer. But we also appreciate that we have some of our training that is still relies on, very, I don't want to use the word outdated, but quite old way of doing things. And I think this is why if you go to several of our technical training institutions, you will realize that we are currently installing very new equipment. And we thank, again, the initiative of the government, but also our partners. We've received a lot of support from various partners, and so there are areas where we are quite advanced. I'll give you an example, like agricultural value addition in milk. If you go to some of our technical institutions, as small as one called them Source in Nandi, if you look at the equipment they have there on value addition on milk production, you will be shocked. It's as good as you can get. So to answer your question, yes, we can compete, but we also must appreciate that we are developing. And as a developing country, there are areas where we definitely need to do better. You know, this is a very diverse area. You will move from the level of electrical to now, you know, people are talking about mechatronics, and is an array of areas that require very heavy investment. But I think as a country, we are taking a good trajectory, and I don't think we are so badly off. Thank you.
I want to ask you, Bwana PS, I want to ask you, kazi bado inaendelea hapa hivi. I want to ask you, in the future, what will be the future where utafika mahali useme hii kazi ni kama inaisha? What is that ideal situation you're seeing for a young person? Let me say, maybe someone is in, eventually it will be grade 8, but is in class 8 right now, or is in 4th form. Between there and him getting a job, what do you envision will be the effect of what we're doing here? What will be the path of a young person from school all the way to either being employed or to starting something of their own? What do you see?
Allow me to start saying that my experience shows that the training and skills sector is extremely dynamic.
Yeah.
I doubt that we'll ever get to a place where we say now to Mefika, we have reached.
Or it changes.
Because as you move on, you see that everything is changing every day. I'll give you a simple example of just the area of communication and media and public relations. When I went to school, even when I was at the university, became employed and all that, I never imagined that you'd have a situation where somebody would be conducting a study in social media. It was not imagined. But look at how in the last few years social media is expanding and transforming the country, where even the mainstream media go to social media to pick out what is happening and reconstruct it to make it news.
Yeah.
So it means that the evolving skills requirement in the world is so fast. And I think for me what is critical is to be in a trajectory where we are always able to adapt to the new changes that are coming in. So the kind of training we need to give our learners, and this is what we are trying to embed in our training skills, in our training institutions, is to make them dynamic, to make them flexible, to make them people who can relearn and learn again. If you look at the education system that some of us went through, it was like facts and facts alone, and that is where it ends. We are trying to embed flexibility and dynamism within the education system and within the training process. And I always go back to competence-based education because probably I participated that a lot in that, and it exposed me to several things that go on in other places. I'll give you an example. I spent some time in Germany and sometimes in Canada, and I think the illustrations I saw there were very interesting. In some of the institutions, I went to a high school where the community have their vehicles being repaired by students in high school. They have not gone to technical college. They are in high school.
Nice.
They are doing, you know, various courses, but the vehicles are being repaired there.
Yeah.
You find them in aprons, and you know they're identifying, and you think these are, and you're told these are students in high school. So what I'm trying to say is that our education system needs to make sure that we embed that sense of flexibility and dynamism in the way that we do things. So there will never be an ultimate goal. It's like a mirage. As you move on, it moves the next step.
Yeah.
So that is the way the world will always be.
Okay.
Thank you.
As long as at every single point, a young person akimaliza shule mahali ama akimaliza stage, they see there's an opportunity for them somewhere. There's somewhere to go. Okay, the questions are coming in thick and fast on our social media. Kenya Association of Manufacturers on Facebook and on YouTube as well. Just comment your question hapo hivyo chini. In case you're just joining us, karibu sana. We're here at the launch of the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa, E4D. That's the name of the project that we're running here live from the White Room at Calm House. Now, with me on stage, a panelist, we're having a conversation about E4D and about the opportunity for young people in Kenya. And on stage, we also have Madam Jane Maina. Good morning. Is it still morning? It's still morning. Sometimes, is it good morning?
Good morning to you, Charlie.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
You are from Kati. Tell people, mimi naambia watu wanadhania haya Charlie anaongea juu ya Kati. What is Kati?
Kati is Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. Mm-hmm. It's a professional body that brings all the principles of TVET institution in the country. Yeah. Both private and public. Okay. Yes. Okay. And I believe you're best to answer this question. You've seen, you represent all of those organizations. You've seen what's going on. How best can we strengthen as the people on stage right now, the people who can effect the change, as well as we as well, the young people? How can we best strengthen technical training institution capacities? Yeah, if you allow me, I want to give my personal experience.
Yes, please.
The kind of education that I went through. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was in class 7, I used to do art and craft and home science. Yes. And I know right now if I tell you to make a chair, you can't. But I can. So I want to appreciate the government through the PS here. Yeah. What I've seen is I've seen a lot of changes taking place in our TVET institutions. And I want to speak to the youth out there. There are so many opportunities that have not been utilized. I want to reiterate the fact that earlier before we have just been training books, that is theoretically. But if you tell somebody even to knit a small dress, they can't. I've been walking in town and seeing boys with trousers that have been knit with a white thread, and it's a black trouser, and I'm like, God, you can't even be able to knit your own trouser. Yeah. Then we are making a very big mistake. Yes. But over the years, the government has come up with programs in the TVET institutions, the launch of the CBET, the CBC, those are competence-based curriculum, which by you are able to acquire those skills that others didn't have, but now you have the opportunity to have them. So the youth out there, I'm speaking to you. There are so many opportunities in TVET institutions, and it is high time we also change the mindset of the parents, because I think our youth don't have a problem. The problem is the parents, because when you take kids through school, you want them to go to university, you want them to be like so and so, without even sitting down and having a conversation with your child, asking him or her, what do you want to do? Because I know of a person who was forced to go to university. Yes, he went. He got a degree, took that certificate to the dad and told him, Dad, can you have your certificate? Now I'm going to the TVET institution to go electrical engineering. Yeah. So I think the government has given us opportunity through technical institutions, but through the PS, I would urge him if we can also have forums where parents are educated or are being made to understand. I can go through TVET institution and attain a degree if I'm given that opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, that's interesting. It's not even just in the institution. It starts in the family with the parents even. Okay. And I know you've touched on this kidogo, but what are some of the other best practices that we can adopt as a country, as Kenya, in regards to skills development? You're definitely saying like studying art and like home science in primary school helped. Maybe speaking to parents. Are there any other things that you believe we can adopt as a country?
Yes, I do believe there is so much we can do as a country.
Yeah.
Because as the PS said, we are releasing students every year from 4. But if you look at the transition from Form 4 to university, it's very minimal. And those who are left outside there, they are masses. So if we don't take care of them, where will they be tomorrow? We'll have a country whereby we cannot be able to control. Because remember, those youth, they have a lot of energy. If they are not able to use that energy in a positive manner, where will they release that energy from? In another way that it will not be pleasing to anyone. So I believe the government has given us a platform. But as the stakeholders, what are we doing? What have we done in our own small way to take up the opportunity, to make sure that we are coming together as stakeholders, agree on the way forward, and train our trainers according to the needs of the industry. So I also challenge our partners who are here today. I know GIZ is working with a number of our institutions. CAM has been in the forefront, but I think they still need to go a step further in finding that gap. Because when students go for internship and you are told you don't have the industry need, what do you do?
Train.
What do you do? You get
must
stuck.
Train.
You must train.
Yes.
So,
otherwise you'll get stuck, yes.
So definitely that is, at least I can appreciate the government. Over the years I've seen forums whereby they are inviting the industry and they are able now to come to an agreement that there is a bridge gap between what is being trained and what the industries need. Thank you.
Okay, sawa. We're almost at the finish line now. We just have 5 minutes. 5 minutes, question and answers. Hizi ni za teke teke. They're coming through on our Facebook and our YouTube as well, and kidogo off Twitter as well. This one, I believe, is aimed at the PS. Charlie Odie, I said that. Nice. It's nice to see a fellow Charlie tuning in. Welcome, Charlie. He's asking, do we have an online platform for the training now that the pandemic doesn't allow congestion of people in an institution? What appears that is hiyo ni yako hiyo.
Thank you. Before I answer that, let me just echo part of what she said earlier. One of the things that I think is also critical is what we are doing through Kenya National Qualifications Authority and CDAC on recognition of prior learning and knowledge. That we have youth who may not have gone through the formal institutions, they went through apprenticeship, and they've acquired very good skills in their various areas. And we have put in process a program that now helps us recognize their skills because they have the skills and they are very good. They may not have the formal purpose. So how do we have them appreciated to help them know that what they know is wonderful?
For example, you mean like maybe mtu alitoka high school, started being an apprentice at a mechanic shop, like in a garage?
Actually, you will be surprised if you go to every mechanic or whatever, you'll find a group of young people who are training on the job. So they pay some little money to the owner of the garage, for example, and they're training there without getting any certificate, but they finally have very good skills. Now, that's what we call recognition of prior knowledge and learning. So these skills are extremely critical. And what we are trying to do is we are setting up a program in a way that those skills can be appreciated. Then they can know that actually what they know is wonderful and is good for the country. And then they can go ahead and get. some papers. And when they're getting papers, they'll not necessarily be sitting the same exam that you are sitting when you're in a formal institution. I'll give you an example. What is being done by NITA. Let's take driving. You know some driving. So NITA will take you for some kind of assessment. The assessment is very interesting. They'll tell you, well, can you go ahead and change the oil in the car? So you will do the change of the oil and blah, blah, blah. You know, you will do several things that are practical. Then they'll give you a certificate and say, now you have reached grade this. The next time you come and tell you, fine, change the wheels, you know, put this and that. So that is a very practical oriented approach to assessment. And so that is being embedded within our system.
Which is amazing because people who are training now who are working practically, si ati wanafikiria wakienda huko wana start from zero. They work, and we recognize and we appreciate the work.
And you don't have to bombard them with Kizungu mingi because they may not understand that Kizungu.
They know the work.
They know if you tell them to do, they will do and deliver.
Okay.
So now to your question, surprisingly, when COVID struck within the entire education system, the TVET sector was the most underrepresented in terms of e-learning. In basic education, we had structures that we had put down, we had put up at KICD that seemed to have supported a lot of virtual learning. The universities are also doing their small bits in their various institutions. But as talk now, we have a new system that is being set up at KTTC, and I talked about that, ICT and learning and virtual learning. And we have already started the process of developing the entire ecosystem. We already have some content that we can send to the various institutions, but we realize that having a virtual system going on for the whole country requires a whole ecosystem. One, you must have the infrastructure in the institution where you are going to house the training. You have the equipment, you have the network, and you have then you move to the next level where you train the trainers, the TOTs, the ones at KTTC who will be training trainers in other institutions. They must be prepared and they're made ready. Then you move to the next level. Train now the trainers who are going to train in the institutions. Then you provide the infrastructure in those institutions to ensure that they can access the internet, they have enough, probably, call it computers or gadgets, whichever equipment they want to use. And then you move to the very final stage of getting learners to appreciate that they can acquire learning through the various gadgets that they have virtually. So it is a whole ecosystem, and we have already started that. Is going on at KTTC, and the new leadership we have there is wonderful, and the process, very soon probably, we might overtake the basic and university education in providing virtual learning. And there's lots of work that is going on there. You can start with the soft skills that are extremely critical, and maybe within a given period of time, we can now move to animation and those kinds of skills that can be done virtually.
Okay, so we are building.
Things are happening.
Oh, things are happening.
Yes.
Okay, asante sana Bwana PS. Madam Phyllis, this is a question for you. You represent the Association of Manufacturers, basically who, as young people, we are trying to work for. Right? Yes. Someone called Asha Mercy. Good morning, Asha Mercy. She's asking, when applying for jobs, employers expect you to have 2 years and above experience. Where are we supposed to get experience if they don't hire us? Tafadhali. Tutoe wapi?
Thank you very much for that question. I think that's what we are trying to do here, to create that bridge and provide a solution where as you study, you also gain experience. So if we have that system that's almost like a dual system, it will build your experience also as you go to school. That way you'll be able to get the experience. The other way is also by expanding job opportunities, because sometimes maybe the challenge is that people are not able to take in either interns or apprenticeship programs because of the lack of opportunities in the market. But if you're able to expand the scope of opportunities and create more job opportunities, it also opens up more space for that availability of training. So we encourage you to take part in these programs if you're part of the technical institutes, because it gives you an opportunity to learn while you're training. And also, as soon as you train, it provides you a bridge and a link to industries to enable you to learn on the job. Thank you.
Asante sana. Still another question for you. Last one for you. Nisikubombard sana leo. There's someone, Martha Wanza on Facebook. Amesema, Miss Inspiration, nice opening speech. Would like to ask on the point of promoting manufacturing sector. How do you reach out to the grassroots manufacturers? We are really struggling, especially on sourcing some things, some stuff to maintain constant production. If we could have young manufacturers being matched with mentors in the same sector?
Thank you for that question. In terms of how we reach out to manufacturers on the ground, first of all, we are not only in Nairobi. I think you saw from the videos, we have presence around the country. We have 7 chapter offices in the counties, and we are able then to engage more on the ground. We also have an SME hub at Kenya Association of Manufacturers. What we are doing is we are working very closely with the SMEs so that we incubate them, we build their capacities, we provide linkages between them and the bigger manufacturers.
Yeah.
We run even mentorship programs.
Yeah.
We have in place board of advisors where we put in place a small board of advisors, volunteer from our advisors, the smaller SMEs. So we are offering different support programs through the Kenya Association of Manufacturers SME Hub. So we encourage you to get in touch with us through our social media platforms, and we'll be able to give you more information and link you up to the SME Hub.
Okay, so they need to join up.
Yes, please.
Okay, sir. We need to close things up right here. Allow me to just go once over everyone on stage right now. If you're just tuning in, you're watching the launch of the E4D, the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa program. It's basically building that bridge between employer and school and the student as well. So to make sure ukitoka shule, immediately you have an opportunity to get attached somewhere, and maybe that can lead into a full-time job. Bora Thomas, maybe any final remarks from you? I wanted to ask you, basically you've answered every question that I had, because as the GIZ, you have a vision of where you want your world. Can we call Kenya is a friend of Germany? We are besties, right? That's what we say in Kenya. Kenya and Germany are besties, right? True. And you've basically answered my question. You see a future for Kenya and you're contributing to that. Is there any way you see that cooperation changing? Maybe even, I don't know, Mercedes starting a subsidiary branch here for us to manufacture some few Benzes. Phyllis, the Mercedes are welcome to be part of CAM, right? Where do you see the future of the partnership between CAM and GIZ going? Where do you see the future?
Well, the future is already there, right? We are launching upscaling a first successful phase. The figures were presented from the first phase, and now we are working together. I would like to enhance the word partnership and cooperation to target all these challenges and opportunities that were mentioned.
Yeah.
In this new phase, I see the main challenge is the upscaling. So it's not enough what we achieved already. Now we have to upscale that. And I see us improving, learning from the practices of the first phase, doing new things, being creative and courageous to try things, and also involving the public sector as much as possible in order to make these achievements replicable in other programs and new programs, right? It's not just a project or a program itself. It's also the base and the pilot for upscaling it into policies and into new levels of replication.
Okay. Asante sana. Thank you very much. How do you say thank you in German?
Dankeschön.
Dankeschön. Dankeschön.
Very good.
Thank you very much. Madam Jane, maybe some closing remarks from you on behalf of Kati.
I would like to see a country whereby no child is left behind.
Yes.
And a country whereby we recognize even those who didn't get A because they have a brain, and there is something else they can do better than maybe books. So we need to give opportunity to each and every child, regardless of where you come from or the color of your skin.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, amazing. Because they say everyone has their own strength somewhere. I saw this thing, you guys have seen that meme. It's like everyone is talented, but if you have an exam for climbing a tree and then you tell a monkey and then you tell a fish and then you tell an elephant, different people have different strengths. So we should maximize on everyone's strengths.
Yeah, true, because even if a child got an E or a D, that is just on paper. But there may be something else he can do better. And that's why I go back to my point. We need to change the mindset of the society and the parents. Let them not put the kids so much that you must get an A. I want to tell people out there are other pathways that can make you excel in life. Thank you.
Okay, sawa, asante sana. Bwana PS, any final words? For the people at home, just click that. Sisi tunakusikia. I'm telling you, Bwana PS has a powerful voice, but for the people at home.
I think for the parents and the young people outside there, if you have a young person who is at home and wondering what to do with themselves, please walk to the next vocational training institute in your area, walk to the next technical training institution in your area, and just find out what you can do. You will always find an opportunity, and the government has put in place programs that will support to a large extent the money that they need to get their training, so that they don't become idle, so that they don't become hopeless. Please walk to the next training institution next in your area and get a chance for the young people.
Okay, asante sana. I'm seeing here, before Madam Phyllis, you give final remarks. Kuna mtu ameandika on our YouTube, I believe, amesema acquired skills remain relevant throughout human life. This is because once an individual acquires skills, the skill creates an innovative mind, which leads to continuous improvement, almost like an automated system. Inaendelea tu, ikichurn out ideas. Madam Phyllis, inspiration wakiaga.
Thank you very much. I think as we conclude, for me is just to say that our youth in Kenya are very innovative, and we need to see how we can tap into the innovation of our youth, work and ensure that we have policies that support that innovation, look at creating innovation hubs for them, and supporting the youth, because they have a lot of skills. Even as we talk about issues of unemployment, we have a lot of youth who are passionate, who are innovative, who are creative, and as a country, we need to just ensure that we are harnessing that energy. So as we move into the second phase with the German Development Cooperation for the E4D program, we look forward to impacting the lives of the youth. We look forward to impacting society, creating the opportunities, building entrepreneurs in this country, and really driving our society to the next level. So very excited, looking forward to partner with the government, the continued partnership with GIZ and the whole embassy and the development between Germany and Kenya that has made this possible for the last 3 years. And I think we can do even much more for the next few years. So we encourage the youth to engage with us and see how you can be part of this program. We look forward to really creating opportunities and working with you for a better Kenya. Thank you very much.
Asante sana. Thank you so much to all our panelists. We're just about done, but we're about to get into something very exciting. We'll watch one video over here about TVET, but you know everything is going digital now. We're always on our phones, on our devices. Team Android, Team iPhone. Are you Team iPhone? Are you on iPhone or on Android? Yes. You're on Android. Yes. What do you know, Team Android. But anyway, we're all on Android or on iPhone. We're all on our phones. We actually developed, as the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, there's an app that we have that's specifically for young people. Imagine going on your phone, you have an app that helps you through the entire process. We're going to demonstrate that in just a bit. Before we get to that, check out this video about TVET, in case you're not even encouraged and encouraged enough. Check out this video.
Throughout the years, we as manufacturers have been constantly decrying on the skills level and the skill sets of most of the students coming out of our technical institutions.
Mimi naweza sema kama ni shule wako wanatembea kwa ma industry, wanatembeza ma student kwa industries. Unapata hiyo opportunity ya kupata kuinteract na hizo machine.
In terms of working with the institutions working with the industries, it is very essential that there is a provision in the curriculum so that at frequent intervals, the trainees are exposed to the industry. Potentially, we'll talk of maybe 3 months for every year of training, so that these trainees are able to actualize what they have learned in class, and they're able now to get up to pace.
We have realized that skills have to match with the needs of the industry. And as Nakuru, we have partnered with several partners to make sure that the skills we are training are in tandem with the market.
If we want to produce a technician, then we should go to the industry and ask from the specialist technicians.
I believe that Kenya Association of Manufacturers can be able to retool the training manuals in our TVET institutions so that they can bring an aspect of practicability, how we can train for a purpose of solving a problem.
We are walking the talk because we are integrating these skills that are required in the industry into the curriculum.
This collaboration with the industry is extremely important when it comes to our programs and our courses. So far, it has been very, very good, and the CAM has really helped us.
We need to think about like the German model, and I think also the Korean model they use where they've industrialized, where you understand it is actually a lot of manual technical skills that count and a little bit less than theoretical and say desk job things.
I think government has to put its foot down through the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Labor in what is required by the institutions they are already empowering to train on skill. They need to redesign every institution's mandate and role.
Amazing video right there. I love seeing how we've mixed everyone. There are people from technical institutions up there. There is people from government. I've seen the deputy governor there. There are the employers, the manufacturers themselves. Amazing videos. And you can watch those, all of them, on the Kenya Association of Manufacturers YouTube channel. Right about now, we're about to maliza here, but something absolutely amazing. Sijangoa, there's a reason I'm saying app in front of everything. So there's a very absolutely amazing application that's been designed over here by a gentleman called Bwana Kevin Jenga. So Kevin, ume Jenga app?
Yes, yes.
So Bwana Kevin Jenga here to tell us about the CAM app. Karibu sana. Tell us about the app. It's actually working. Everything.
Yeah, it
tell
is.
us about
it is. So what we did, we came up with an ecosystem which can be able to communicate between institutions, corporate employers, individual employers, and also people who are trying to offer work tools.
Yeah.
And basically what we did, we came up with an application which allows the job seeker to be put straight into the application by the institutions and be available to the marketplace by any single corporate or individual employer as such. And we have a few different products that we put together. We have the job application for the job seeker. We also have the platforms which have for the corporate employers, because I'd assume they'd want something more accessible to them.
Yeah.
Also, we have affiliates, like let's say CAM.
Yeah.
CAM in this case have partnered with us in such a manner that they give us their graduates, because I know they also have a program, yeah? And we basically put them inside the marketplace, and they're actually accessible to any single employer by simply searching.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Can we see? We can see some of that. Can we see some of that? Right
Yeah.
now?
So maybe I can start by showing you the corporate employers platform.
Okay.
Let's just log in.
It's exciting.
Yeah. So here we have the corporate employer dashboard. So basically, moving from we have put how do I say this, a solution where we can be able to allow you to actually advertise your job within the application. When a job seeker logs in, can be able to go to the jobs which are available and see the adverts that are coming on.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, as I've demonstrated, there is a job that I had actually put here, but I had put it in draft. Yeah, so I have not actually put it in. So let me just publish it into the application. We'll see that more when we go back, we go into the application. So here we have basically job applications where the employer can be able to view all the applications that have been put in.
Okay.
We have the search bar. Now, what we did here is we allow, based on how the job seekers have come into the application and registered, we have already established all the categories, all the courses from each and every institution. You come in, you put in all your information. This already serves as your CV.
Okay.
So immediately I come here and I say, I want, let me use this as the example. Maybe you can just view. Sorry. So for this case, I wanted a mason. So if you could look here, basically we have the job title, as you can see as the first instance, and we say we want him in building and construction. And in this situation, we can choose whatever category you want. I want a mason. You can be able to identify the main skills that you want and to what level of competency and importance based on that merit. And this also appears on the job seeker side where they'll be able to put it into practice by actually putting in whether or not they're competent in these certain areas. And if so, they appear as the outcome, therefore shortlisting and reducing the time period that an employer has to take to be able to get a job seeker. Yes.
It's very quick in case a job opportunity, in case I'm running a factory and immediately I need a mason,
Yeah,
do I put
today,
it up and someone can see it on their side as a job seeker and apply?
Definitely, definitely. We also have interviews that can be run through the application. And basically, we can also have you collaborating with an institution such that if I want students only from a certain institution, I can go directly to you. You give me the people that matter, that I need, the masons from your institution, and we partner up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's basically, it's another way that we're building that bridge between employer and employee. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that you umetuonesha side ya...
That is the corporate employer side.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, of the app.
Now, this is what we call the affiliates panel. This is where, for example, we can see here various different applications of things we can do. Now, for CAM, we have them bringing in individual employers, corporates, job seekers, work tools, representatives. So in this scenario, what actually happens is that I choose to be affiliated to CAM. Therefore, all job opportunities from the CAM members are presented to me if I am affiliated to CAM. And that could also apply for the same way you can see CATI. If CATI has institutions and also has job opportunities, you can also put it into the application. If I'm affiliated, I can receive the job opportunities from them. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we can move to the application.
What it's like for an actual, let's say me natafuta kazi hapo hivyo, I just finished my course to one of the TVET institutes, so I'm looking for work now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just allow me to stop my share.
Remember, we're watching a live demo of the CAM app. This is going to be amazing. If you're a job seeker out there, if you have a job that you want to put out there, you want to get employees for that, trained, competent employees, this is the app for you.
Sorry, just a minute. The Zoom happened to log out from my phone.
No, take your time. In case you're just tuning in, we're just about to finish up here. You're watching the launch of the Employment and Skills for Development in Africa, the E4D program by CAM, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, and the GIZ. We were being shown a live demonstration by Bwana Kevin Jenga of an app, the CAM app, that you can use if you're looking for work, if you're seeking those job opportunities. They are going to be right here as you're seeing. Okay, this is the app now.
Yeah, so here we go. Basically, I'm just going to show you a basic sign in into the application. So, put my password. So usually what happens when you log in,
Yeah.
we have a security measure where a code has to be sent to either your phone number or to your email so that it can be, so that no one else can be able to enter with your credentials and basically get a job with.
Security
Yeah.
muhimu.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, is that the name of the app? Is it Yakazi?
Yakazi.
Oh, okay.
Yes. App Yakazi. Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, I get it now. App Yakazi.
Yes.
Am I the only one who hadn't gotten that? I hadn't gotten that. Now nimeshika.
So there you can see the CAM logo. So basically this is how the application looks. Maybe I can go back and show you. So what I was talking about, the advertisements and the jobs. So starting from this first page, this is new requests. The minute somebody is able to shortlist you, it should appear on this page. Then once you're able to come into once you're able to communicate with the employer and choose to accept the job, and also the communication is solid, the job becomes ongoing and moves to this tab. We also have the opportunity to connect you directly with tool providers. So as you can see there, you can be able to have a search criteria, basically, of what kind of tool you want.
So
you just choose.
If I'm a mechanic who needs a particular kind of tool that's a bit expensive, I can't afford it, but I can hire it for
Yes,
work.
you can both hire and buy.
And buy as
Those are the options that are there. So you can have any certain type of tool and also put a search criteria, and it should bring a search. You see, it will say no tools found, because currently there are no tools available. But yes, and also my tool request, because it allows you, even if you don't have a job, you have tools. You can put them on the application and allow yourself to also allow them to be hired.
So apart from employers and people seeking jobs, even if you are renting out tools, this is the app for you.
Yes.
Okay.
A basic SME in a sense, yes. Yes.
Can we it's like the Tinder for tools, no? Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say that, but I said it. Okay, so
Yeah.
this is an amazing app. When is it going to be available for people to download it as we finish up?
Right now we're at the beta testing level. We're doing a lot of testing with CAM members. And basically towards the end of this year, I think we'll have succeeded in finishing the beta testing. So probably next year.
Okay.
Not to be hopeful, maybe around
Next year is next month.
Yeah.
It's next month, we're in December.
Let's talk more towards February, March.
Okay.
Yes, it will be available, yeah.
Okay, Nova, it's just here, it's just
Yes,
there. Okay,
yes.
so asante sana Bwana Kevin. And I believe with that, we are done. Are there any, if you did comment, we're going to get to you. We have an amazing team here at the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. We're going to get to any extra questions that you had and comments. We're going to get to that in just a bit. We're about to end right here on the launch of the E4D program. We've gotten final remarks. We've seen everything that's going on. All you have to say is if you're a young person, tafadhali usilalie miguu. There's so much opportunity for you. If you run that business of yours, if you're in manufacturing, join up with the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. You can find them all over the internet. And I believe with that we are done. Unless someone screams at me right now, we need to continue. I believe we're done. We're going to leave you with some videos about the programs that we have. But thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you so much to our panelists for facilitating this amazing thing. Come to you, GIZ. Asanteni sana. We will be back soon. So if you're a young person, make sure you follow and subscribe to wherever you're watching this from. I have been your host for the day, Charlie Karomi. Asante sana for joining us. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Young people are very committed. The youth are not the future, they are the present.
Thank you very much.
So you're used to having a flexible timetable, then all of a sudden you have to report to work, you know, and stay until 5. And it's been a growing experience for me, especially in management accounting. It's a high part of finance. So most people would start at accounts payable, accounts receivable, so it was a challenge. And I think I got to realize that I do love a challenge.
Today, 10-year-old boys and girls in primary school can take your phone and do magic. We want to transfer this creativeness into our youth through a training program that it can enable them make a living.
We have a lot of young people in our country. Actually, our population is largely youthful. And in order for them to get into the workspace, they need to have skills that are relevant. And the challenge that they will have is that it's not just skills that are relevant for now. The key skill we're going to be teaching young people is the skill of learning and continuous learning, because technology is moving much faster than it did previously. And so we need these kind of institutions and the linkage between manufacturing and the institution, so that we are teaching students what is relevant for manufacturing today, and probably most importantly, the ability to learn again, because it's probably going to change in the coming years.
I would like to encourage other companies to give opportunities to the youth, to allow them to test those skills.
I would actually like to encourage all manufacturers, no matter how big or small you are. It doesn't have to be like 10, 50 to 100 interns, even that one intern, because we only need that one person to make a change and also help build and bridge the gap.
The advice to the young people is, one, that they need to embrace the technical skills, because these technical skills can either get you to employment or you can also employ yourself. So once you get these skills, they are going to help you as an individual. You can decide to start your own business. You can also get employment. So there are a lot of avenues that you can benefit from this.